Hey guys, it's Mr. Mason. I'm going to be reading another story with y'all today. Today is the story of Jumping Mouse by John Steptoe. I've got my helper Cookie, who is taking care of some scratches on her ear. So I really love this book. I like all the pictures in it, especially. Okay. Once there was a young mouse who lived in the brush near a great river. During the day, he and the other mice hunted for food. At night, they gathered to hear the old ones tell tales. The young mouse liked to hear about the desert beyond the river, and he got shivers from the stories about dangerous shadows that lived in the sky. But his favorite was the tale of the far-off land. So there's the little mouse hiding under a leaf. The far-off land sounded wonderful. The young mouse began to dream about it. He knew he would never be content until he had been there. The old ones warned that the journey would be long and perilous. It means that it's dangerous. But the young mouse would not be swayed. He set off one morning before the sun had risen. So there's our mouse right there. He's headed through the brush for the far-off land. It looks like there might be a hawk up in the sky that he has to watch out for. It was evening before he reached the edge of the brush. Before him was the river. On the other side was the desert. The young mouse peered into the deep water. "However will I get across?" he said with dismay. I really like this picture because you can see the mouse down here in the reflection of the water. He's up here too. "Don't you know how to swim?" called a gravelly voice. The young mouse looked around and saw a small green frog. "Hello," he said. "What is swim?" "This is swimming," said the frog, and she jumped into the river. "Oh," said the young mouse, "I don't think I can do that." "Why do you need to cross the river?" asked the frog, hopping back up onto the bank. "I want to go to the far-off land," said the young mouse. "It sounds too beautiful to live a lifetime and not see it." "In that case, you'll need my help. I'm Magic Frog. Who are you?" "I'm a mouse," said the young mouse. Magic Frog laughed. "This is not a name. I'll give you a name that will help you on your journey. I'll name you Jumping Mouse." As soon as Magic Frog said this, the young mouse felt a strange tingling in his hind legs. He hopped a small hop, and to his surprise, jumped twice as high as he'd ever jumped before. "Thank you," he said, admiring his powerful new legs. "You're welcome," said Magic Frog. "Now step onto this leaf and we'll cross the river together." When they were safely on the other side, Magic Frog said, "You'll encounter hardships on your way, but don't despair. You will reach the far-off land if you keep hope alive within you." So here we have the river. It's kind of a silly voice I'm doing, but it's for the frog because it said that he or she has a gravelly voice. Probably what Cookie's voice would sound like. I'm just kidding. Jumping Mouse set off at once, hopping quickly from brush to brush. The shadows circled above, but he avoided being seen. He ate berries when he could find them and slept only when he was exhausted. Days passed. Though he was able to travel quickly, he began to wonder if he'd ever reach the other side of the desert. He then came upon a stream that coursed through the dry land. Under a large berry bush, he met a fat old mouse. So there he is, jumping from the bushes. That looks like a big butterfly or a moth. And then you'll see that the shadows in the sky are birds. "What strange hind legs you have," said the fat mouse. "They were a gift from Magic Frog when she named me," said Jumping Mouse proudly. Snorted the fat mouse. "What good are they?" "They've helped me come this far across the desert, and with luck they'll carry me to the far-off land," said Jumping Mouse. "But now I'm very tired. May I rest here a while?" "Indeed you may," said the fat mouse. "In fact, you can stay forever." "Thank you, but I'll stay only until I'm rested. I've seen the far-off land in my dreams, and I must be on my way as soon as I am able." "Dreams?" said the fat mouse scornfully. "I used to have such dreams, but all I ever found was desert. Why go jumping about the desert when everything anyone needs is right here?" Jumping Mouse tried to explain that it wasn't a question of need, but something he felt he had to do. But the fat mouse only snorted again. Finally, Jumping Mouse dug a hole and curled up for the night. The next day, the fat mouse warned him to stay on the side of the stream. "A snake lives on the other side," he said. "But don't worry, he's afraid of water, so he'll never cross the stream." So there's Jumping Mouse right there, and the fat mouse who's stuck in the desert. It sounds like the fat mouse doesn't believe in Jumping Mouse, but I bet Jumping Mouse believes in himself. Life was easy beneath the berry bush, and Jumping Mouse was soon rested and strong. He and the fat mouse ate and slept, and then slept and ate. Then one morning, when he went to the stream for a drink, he caught sight of his reflection. He was almost as fat as the fat old mouse. "It's time for me to go on," thought Jumping Mouse. "I didn't come all this way to settle down under a berry bush." Just then he noticed that a branch had gotten caught in the narrow of the stream. It spanned the water like a bridge. Now the snake could cross. Jumping Mouse hurried back to warn the fat mouse, but the mouse hole was empty, and there was a strange smell in the air. Snake. Jumping Mouse was too late. Poor old friend, he thought as he hurried away. He lost hope of finding his dream, and now his life is over. Oh no. So the snake got our fat mouse friend. And there's Jumping Mouse after eating all the berries. But maybe he can cross the river with the stick in it. I think Cookie's enjoying the story. Jumping Mouse traveled throughout the night and the next morning. He saw that he had reached a grassy plain. Exhausted, he hopped toward a large boulder where he could rest in safety. But as he got closer, he realized the boulder was an enormous, shaggy bison laying in the grass. Every once in a while it groaned. Jumping Mouse shivered at the terrible sound. "Hello, Great One," he said bravely. "I'm Jumping Mouse, and I'm traveling to the far-off land. Why do you lie here as if you were dying?" "Because I am dying," said the bison. "I drank from a poisoned stream and it blinded me. I can't see to find tender grass to eat or sweet water to drink. I'll surely die." You'll see how he might have thought that the bison was a boulder. Pretty big. Jumping Mouse was sad to see so wondrous a beast so helpless. "When I began my journey," he said, "Magic Frog gave me a name and strong legs to carry me to the far-off land. My magic is not as powerful as hers, but I'll do what I can to help you. I name you Eye of a Mouse." As soon as he had spoken, Jumping Mouse heard the bison snort with joy. He heard, but he could no longer see, for he had given the bison his own sight. That's pretty incredible. Jumping Mouse gave up his ability to see so that the bison that he just met could see. You can see the pretty bird flying up by him. "Thank you," said Eye of a Mouse. "You are small, but you have done a great thing. If you will hop along beneath me, the shadows of the sky won't see you, and I will guide you to the mountains." Jumping Mouse did as he was told. He hopped to the rhythm of the bison's hooves, and in this way he reached the foot of the mountains. "I am an animal of the plains, so I must stop here," said Eye of a Mouse. "How will you cross the mountains when you can't see?" "There will be a way," said Jumping Mouse. "Hope is alive within me." He said goodbye to his new friend, then dug a hole and went to sleep. So they're crossing the plain. You can see it's turning from desert into mountains. There's our bison friend, Eye of a Mouse, and if you look real carefully, you can see Jumping Mouse underneath him. The next morning, Jumping Mouse woke to cool breezes that blew down from the mountain peaks. Cautiously, he set out in the direction of the coolness. He had not gone far when he felt fur beneath his paws. He jumped back in alarm and sniffed the air. Wolf! He froze in terror, but when nothing happened, he gathered up his courage and said, Excuse me, I'm Jumping Mouse, and I am traveling to the far-off land. Can you tell me the way? I would if I could, said the wolf, but a wolf finds his way with his nose, and mine will no longer smell for me. What happened? Asked Jumping Mouse. I was once a proud and lazy creature, replied the wolf. I misused the gift of smell, and so I lost it. I have learned not to be proud, but without my nose to tell me where I am and where I am going, I cannot survive, and I am laying here waiting for the end. Kind of sounds like our bison friend. Jumping Mouse was saddened by the wolf's story. He told him about Magic Frog and Eye of a Mouse. I have a little magic left, he said. I'll be happy to help you. I name you Nose of a Mouse. See the wolf looking at Jumping Mouse. I don't know about y'all, but I think that wolf looks a little bit like my friend Cookie here. Oh. Cookie's smeller works just fine. The wolf howled for joy. Jumping Mouse could hear him sniffing the air, taking in the mountain fragrances. But Jumping Mouse could no longer smell the pine-scented breezes. He no longer had the use of his nose or his eyes. You are but a small creature, said Nose of a Mouse, but you have given me a great gift. You must let me thank you. Come, hop along beneath where the shadows of the sky won't see you. I will guide you through the mountains to the far-off land. So Jumping Mouse hopped to the rhythm of the wolf's padding paws, and in this way he reached the far-off land. I am an animal of the mountains, so I must stop here, said Nose of a Mouse. How will you manage if you can no longer see or smell? There will be a way, said Jumping Mouse. He then said goodbye to his friend, dug a hole, and went to sleep. So there's one of the birds, shadows of the sky, looking for Jumping Mouse. But he's safe under his new friend, Nose of a Mouse. The next morning, Jumping Mouse woke up and crawled from his hole. I am here, he said. I feel the earth beneath my paws. I hear the wind rustling leaves on the trees. The sun warms my bones. All is not lost, but I'll never be as I was. How will I ever manage? The Jumping Mouse began to cry. Jumping Mouse, he heard a gravelly voice say. Magic Frog, is that you? Jumping Mouse asked, swallowing his tears. Oh. Our friend Jumping Mouse doesn't look very happy. Yes, said Magic Frog. Don't cry, Jumping Mouse. Your unselfish spirit has brought you great hardship, but it is that same spirit of hope and compassion that has brought you all this way to the far-off land. Wow. Y'all see that there's a waterfall behind him? And I think that's a spider web with water droplets in it. But that looks really cool in the light. You have nothing to fear, Jumping Mouse. The Magic Frog is protecting Jumping Mouse there. Cookie moved so she could hear me better. Jump high, Jumping Mouse, commanded Magic Frog. You can see Jumping Mouse jumping higher even than that bug can fly. Jumping Mouse did as he was told and jumped as high as he could. Then he felt the air lifting him higher into the sky. He stretched out his paws in the sun and felt strangely powerful. To his joy, he began to see the wondrous beauty of the world above and below, and to smell the scent of the earth and sky and living things. Jumping Mouse, he heard the Magic Frog call, I give you a new name. Jumping Mouse in the sky. I wonder what his new name is going to be. You are now called Eagle. So Jumping Mouse turned into an eagle. And you will live in the far-off land forever. And that's the end of The Story of Jumping Mouse by John Steptoe. So in that book, I really liked it because the mouse helped everyone on his way, who then in turn helped him get to where he was going, even if it meant that he had to give up what he loved, like his sight and his smell. And in the end, he was turned into the most powerful bird of all, the eagle. So it's like his good deeds were seen by the magic frog and rewarded even more than what he gave. Again, that's The Story of Jumping Mouse by John Steptoe. With our craft for The Story of Jumping Mouse. Now this might get a little complicated. We're going to need a sheet of paper and some kind of pen. Now we're going to be folding our paper into a mouse, so feel free to pause and rewind as much as you need to, because the steps do get a little confusing, but I'll try to take it as slow as possible and draw it all out. So we've got our sheet of paper. First, we're going to fold it long ways like that. I'm going to set mine down so I can fold it real quick. You want to make sure that your corners are lined up. And then, once they're lined up well, you want to get a good crease in your paper. So it should look like this, right? It doesn't matter which side the opening's on. So now, we're going to take this corner here, and we're going to take it and fold it like that, okay? So I'm going to set mine on the table one more time to fold it. Make sure that you fold it really well so there's a good crease, and it should come up looking like this. Now, we're going to take it, we're going to open that back up, we're going to take this corner and do the same thing, okay? So it's going to fold like that. Now, set mine down and fold again. Okay. So now you've got a paper that looks like that, or you can fold that down, that again. So you'll see there's kind of an X here. What you're going to do is you're going to find the middle of that X, and you're going to bend your X backwards, okay? So find the middle of your X, and then bend it backwards to where the point is at the very top, to where you kind of have that nice creased triangle right there. You're going to fold, and then you're going to crease it. So that's what it should look like. And when you open it back up, there's your X again. Now it's got a line going across. So now we're going to flip it back over again. And this is where it gets confusing. So be sure to, rewind if you need to. You're going to bring these edges right here along this fold in together, okay? But you want to make sure that you're keeping this, you're not going to fold this in. So, we take our edges, we bring them in together, and we're just going to put our fingers right up here, and we're going to push down so that we have a triangle. I'll show that one more time. Our X with the line, bring the line in, and then bring it all down so we've got a triangle, okay? I'm going to go ahead and fold mine. If you need to go back and rewatch that, go ahead. So now we've got this triangle. Now we're going to take the corners of our top triangle, and we're going to take it, and we're just going to fold it up just like that, okay? So, down, we're going to fold it up, and we're just going to leave it like that, and we're going to do the same thing with our other one. So fold it up. It doesn't have to be perfect, but so triangle, and then we'll fold our points up. Okay? Now that's about as complicated as it gets. So now we're going to take this part of the paper down here, we're going to fold it up right underneath our triangle there, okay? So, paper up, and then we're going to go ahead and fold that. Ooh. Paper's getting a little worn out here, but that's okay. So now it should look like this. Now, you're going to take this part, you're going to leave these alone, okay? Leave these alone, but grab underneath, right up here, and you're going to fold in, well, if I can. My paper's a little stiff. But you're going to fold that in, okay? So we've still got our triangle buddies up here. They're not going anywhere. But we've taken this and we've folded it in, and then we're going to do the same to this side. So find up here, fold inward. Sorry guys, I got to put it on the table so I can see what I'm doing a little better. Okay. So now it should, remember it was this, and now it'll look like this. And then this is probably the easy part. You're going to bring this part of it up one more time. Okay, we're going to fold it back up. My paper does not like being folded this many times. That's okay. Fold that up. Okay, so now it's going to look like this. And then, so we were here, and we folded this up to there. Then you're going to take this spot right here, and you're going to fold it down, just about halfway. Okay, so we were here, and we folded it down. And then you're done. And now you've got a little origami frog, and the best part is you can make him jump. You just put your finger right here and press down gently and let him go. He might flip over on his head, but that's okay, so we can put him back. Boop. And then you can take your pen or pencil, and I know I call him a frog, but I'm actually going to make mine a mouse. So I'm going to give him a little nose down here. Color that in. I'm going to give him some whiskers. And then I'm going to give him 2 eyes. Make sure that my eyes are together. And then he's a mouse, so I'm going to give him some big ears. Give him a little more, we'll see in there. So there's my little mouse face on my jumping bunny. And my jumping mouse can fly off the screen. So feel free to go back and watch that as many times as y'all need. There are other things out there that you can find if you search origami jumping frog. You'll find some things that are pretty similar to this. But I hope y'all have fun with your new jumping buddies. I had fun making this. Hope y'all are doing well, staying safe and healthy. We can't wait to see you.